show they just make us sit here in awkward silence.
Yes. Yeah, it's the most awkward show ever.
While he clicks around.
It's super fun time. It's super fun time. It's super fun time. It's super fun time. It's super fun time.
Get him, Tommy. Get him.
Hello, folks. I'm Tommy NC 2010, and welcome back to another episode of Super
Fun Time.
Oh yes, it's a great time here, folks, and I feel amazing. And there's something special about this episode, and the crowning episode of Hero Super Fun Time. We have a massive headliner tonight, guest here on the show, the first time ever. And he is a comedian, he is a author, and he is all around electrifying TikToker entertainer. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Brad Gosse!
What's up,
Hi.
man? What's up, Brad?
Hi,
Hi, how you doing today?
How you doing there, man?
I'm. Are we allowed to curse on this show, or is that?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
I'm fucking fantastic then.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Yes.
Well, man, we're super pumped to have you on the show. Last night we were kind of debating over which one of us kind of ran into your content first. Tommy's pretty sure it was him. How long you been doing everything you do? I mean, it seems like you started with stand up, right?
I've been doing it for about 4 years. I started. I did both stand up and book publishing for quite a while, and just kind of found my niche. You know, people like the weird books, so I keep making the weird books. You know.
Heck yeah. Yeah, the first one I ever saw was my Big Black Hawk, so
It's classic. Yeah, it's a classic. It's my number 2 bestseller.
I guarantee it. I also liked the Racist Grand. I like that it had the holiday motif in there. I felt like it was very appropriate for the season we're in.
Yeah, turkey and racism, all December long.
What was the defying moment that inspired you to become an author? Like, what was the moment that set you on the path to be an author?
Money.
Yeah, boy.
Money. Oh, that's the bottom line. Money. You know.
I'm here for the money, and the first iteration of the joke was they weren't published, but then everybody was like, "Publish it, read it to us." So I did, and then I was like, "Okay, I could do this." I'm at 142 books now. I could do this probably another 900 times, without running out of steam. So why not?
Heck yeah.
Now, are you underneath the NDA, or can you let us know there are some of the coming up new attraction titles that you're currently working on?
Yeah, I'm working on a book about a drunk sports dad.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
dude.
goodness.
That one hits home good for me. I grew up playing hockey my whole life, so that one definitely hits home for me.
I'm working on cuckolding with Jack and Jill. What else have we got? 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Those are in the works right now. They should be done before the month's over.
Wow. Love it. Absolutely love it, man.
Now, do you do your own artwork, or do you have another person that does your artwork and you do the writing?
I have some kids in my basement to draw for me.
You got your own little sweatshop going?
Got a little sweatshop down here. They bind the books and they draw the pictures and they sign the autographs. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I something that I also like about you in general is your overall kind of demeanor, and it's coming through here too in the interview, where you don't give a shit, do you? Like, you're gonna be who you are, right?
I just like to make things awkward.
Well, you came to the right show for that. This show's
It's more fun that way.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. I like how you address like troll comments and everything too, and you just put them on blast.
I do love to troll the trolls. There's no question about it.
Exactly. Yeah, troll the trolls, man. I was looking at a bunch of the stuff that you had there, a bunch of your posts where you're getting a guy. I like the one that you said to the guy something about social media and that you need to be on more platforms or something. And he said something about Facebook, and you're like, "Yeah, well, I'm on there with your mom."
Right.
Well,
This is Boomerland. Facebook is for boomers, right?
yeah, it's true. I guess so.
Right.
Yeah, man. Well, let's get a little backstory. I tried to do a little digging on you. You were born
I love that.
You were born in
Yeah.
Canada, right?
Yeah.
So I was laughing my butt off telling Tommy because the first site that I looked at with some of your stats said that you were 6'5".
That's true. Yeah.
Are you really?
Yep.
Dang, man. You're a big man.
Yeah. Big boy, but don't call me big guy.
Okay. All right. That's him.
Right?
Yeah. I thought you appreciated
No.
that.
Oh yeah.
No, we don't like that shit. We don't like that shit.
No,
You don't like that?
I'm a big guy. I know.
But that's when you forget our name, you call us big guy, and it's weird.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, for
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Big guy? You know what I'm saying?
Say it, big guy?
Fucking big guy. Forgot my name.
sure.
Why I oughta.
Well,
Yeah.
When you were first coming up and doing some stand-up, where would you perform a lot?
I didn't do a lot of stand up. I did it mostly online. I've done a lot of stuff in Toronto. I've done a few dates in California and Nebraska, of all places. Lots of cities in Canada, but I'm a stay-at-home comedian.
Sweet.
I'm here in my basement, and this is where the money is. So I stay here most of the time. I make videos, and I make books, and I publish the books, and it's like, the thing is that you can, like, I can get in my car and drive down to Toronto, park my car, pay for parking, all this shit takes time to drive down there, go to a club, get 10 minutes in front of 50, maybe 100 people.
Yeah.
Or I can upload a video and get a few thousand people to see it. It's way less effort, higher rate of return, more books get sold. The incentive is for me to stay here and, pee in jars and have someone take them away.
Oh man, what was that guy's name that was doing the movie? And
Howard Hughes. It was yeah. The Aviator. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an absolutely crazy story.
Yeah. I love that movie.
Did you thought it was a good movie overall though?
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I like Leonardo.
Yeah, he's a great actor. What?
What is your all-time favorite movie?
Mine?
Yes.
Death to Smoochie.
Oh wow, I haven't watched that movie in a minute.
Me either. I've seen clips on
Edward
TikTok.
Norton.
Yeah, like Robin Williams.
Rob Williams, Danny DeVito.
Yeah, what a good star-studded cast.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying though about being at home and being able to get a few thousand views, but a few thousand is a little humble, man. You're getting like a lot of views. You're getting like hundreds of thousands, if not multiple hundreds of thousands. Some of them I think are pushing close to 1 million, right? I mean, that's sick.
Yeah. If views were dollars, I'd have a yacht,
Oh my god, and it would be sick if they were if they paid you a little bit better.
Yeah.
Right? Is that kind of what you like about the Death to Smoochie motif? Is it kind of really hits on being an entertainer and how that can drag on you?
I think I just like the idea that I've always liked parodies of children's entertainment. Growing up, I always thought they were funny. Eddie Murphy doing Mr. Rogers, whatever that looks like. And I always found that hilariously funny for some reason when they put an adult spin on a children's delivery format.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of dabbled in that humor level, like, lowbrow, low IQ humor. That's me. I like to keep it simple. And it seems to be working.
Oh, it's definitely working, man. And just so everyone knows, down in the description of this video, We have a link to his website. We have a link to his Amazon where you can see all of his books that he has for sale and all of his other social medias. So go out there. It'd be a great gift, I personally think, for like almost any occasion to
Christmas
another adult.
gift.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you right now, all my viewers right now, go to his Amazon and blow up his Amazon and give him a good Christmas this year. He needs it, you know. Help him out. Put a little coin in his pocket. Put a massive coin in his pocket.
Yeah, let's do
From
that.
the Tommy NC 2010 and the Super Fun Time Nation here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, buddy.
I love that. Thank you
Do
for
it
the
right
plug.
now. Do it! I told you.
Do it.
You with the awkward eye. Stop staring at me funny like that. Go do it. You too, Quentin. Go over and get a book from him. You could afford it.
That's right.
Quentin is a...
They're cheap as balls. They're cheap as balls.
They're amazingly priced for what you're getting. I mean, it's such great humor.
It's great value. It's good value. It's economical.
Definitely. So, when you decided to start publishing books, did you end up going to a publisher? Or did you say, I can do this myself? With how, technology has gone, kind of made everything so much easier for people these days.
I just did it myself. And I've been extremely successful at self-publishing, and I've had a few meetings with publishers, but they all end the same way. When they tell me that they don't think it's going to be a good fit for them. And so,
No,
yeah.
Brad, here's
So,
a question. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead. I love questions.
Here's a question for you, Brad. Have you ever had a backlash against your books? Has anybody ever tried to come at you and say that your books have a negative outhand on children or anything like that? Since you do base your books as children books, what'd you say?
Yeah, there's really two great things about my job. The first one is the money, and the second one is how often I get called pedophile every day.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I get called a pedophile probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 times a day. Some days, this weekend was a lot of pedo comments this weekend. There's a small group of the population that can't detect when you're fucking around and joking. And they're like, oh, he's targeting children. And he wants children to read these books. And he's a pedophile because he's trying to make them swingers when they're 10 or whatever. Right. And so they immediately snap and they're like, this guy's a pedo. He's part of the liberal pedo agenda. He's working with, Epstein and Tom Hanks and, whatever. And they're instantly triggered, and they can't be, once they cross that line, there's no convincing them. And it's funny because I had a conversation the other day with a guy, and he was like, how come you never deny being a pedo? He said, people always call you a pedo and then you just troll them. You never deny it. And he's like, it seems kind of suspicious. And then I was like, well, because that, pedophiles adhere to a strict honesty code. And so, we cannot tell lies. We can, and he's just like, why won't you deny it? And it's like, because it's fucking ludicrous. That's why. And then, I always say to people, because they're like, well, how do we know you're not targeting children? And I'm like, because children don't have any money. Children are broke. Why would I target? What the fuck do I want children for? They got to go to their parents to ask them to buy shit. Yeah. There's no money in targeting children unless you're selling a cool toy that everybody wants.
I tell you a good comeback, Brad, to say to people is like, me a pedophile? I can't be a pedophile. I'm a father. Fathers, we can't have a kid 100 feet in front of us, so I can't be a pedophile. I have a kid.
I thought you were going to say something about living near school or something.
Oh, yeah, something like that, or something like that.
I can't be a pedophile. I'm already a priest.
There you go. You do have kids, right? I don't know if you want to talk about stuff like that. But
I used to, but I don't anymore because I have had a number of death threats. So I've kind of walled off those details, unfortunately.
Oh, sorry, my bad. No,
don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. There's it's weird out there now. Like I get threats of violence, threats of death, from people who clearly don't get it. And it's just bizarre how social media has kind of these algorithms go and find the people on the fringe who engage heavily, but in the wrong way. But at the same time, it's kind of hilarious that people are that dumb.
I feel the same way. I mean, me and Tommy do we do like a little open mic comedy show, variety show around our town, and we live near Asheville, North Carolina, which is
Beer capital USA.
Beer capital USA, and also like super progressive. And I know a lot of people in the town, they really struggle, especially comedians, when they go out to do open mics and stuff, because they go out there trying to just tell jokes, and like you said, there's a group of people who don't seem to be able to comprehend satire or irony or anything, and it's just crazy. I mean, it's a breath of fresh air to see folks such as yourself that are like, it doesn't really matter what you think. I know this is funny. I'm putting it out there.
But I got to be honest. I'm kind of lucky, like that. You know, you could just be a comic that's not funny.
Sure.
And then you get no engagement from the people who don't think you're funny. But I've got so I have a group, whatever percentage of the pie that thinks I'm funny, which I'm obviously grateful for. I love them. And then there's a percentage that doesn't think I'm funny. Those people suck to me because they swipe and they're not interested, and the algorithm never shows me again.
Yeah.
So they're dead to me. They're NPCs in my life.
Yeah.
And then there's this tiny sliver, maybe, of people who don't think I'm funny but hate me and think I'm a monster. And so they go out and they share it with all their friends, and they're like, this guy needs to be put in a prison. We need to do whatever. And they go and put it on their Facebook page because they're boomers. And the people on Facebook, some of them are like, don't you get it? It's a joke. And they're like, it's not a joke. He's indoctrinating our children. It's in the library, or whatever.
When it's opposite, it's the teachers that are indoctrinating the children by preaching political garbage in the schools, and there's no wall to stop them because they're indoctrinating our children because they're the ones that are preaching. All you're doing is showing a funny side of the dark side of life and putting a funniness to a children's book. It's just, that's all you're doing. And I see no wrong in what you do. I think, comedy is subjective. It's like, you say a joke, you say a joke. You don't have to apologize for it, And the thing is, you don't apologize every time you write a book. I'm sorry. You're going to be offended by this book. You're just like, take it as it is. It's a joke. Thank you for the money.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love the haters. They're a fun group because they engage more than the fans, and so if I got this canned response app for my iPhone that just shows up as a new keyboard, and I have 100 canned responses for everything people could say to me that has, because it's all been said, right?
Yeah.
But they've never seen the response before. So I just I know exactly which one to give this guy,
Yeah, definitely.
And it always triggers them a little further. They're like, why are you targeting children? And I'll be like, because children are the future, and then they just like, what? And then they're like,
no, I love that, man. Tommy's dealt with some haters over the years, so he definitely.
What did you do, Tommy?
Hmm?
What did you do, Tommy, with the haters?
Well, I was back in the day. I was targeted by Leafy Was Here back in 2016, and he made a video on me, and I made a video saying I was going to quit the internet, and a bunch of people came to my support, and my channel blew up to over 100K subscribers back in 2016.
Nice.
And I'm high functioning autistic, but that doesn't define me. But some people want to think that it should define me, and I should be catered in a certain way, and I should handle myself. Oh, Tommy, you have autism. You should be this way. well, hey, I have autism, and I'm a 33-year-old man living my life doing what I want to do.
Tommy, can I ask you a question about the autism, if that's okay?
Sure.
So when you say high functioning autism, can you describe that in a bit more detail to me? Like, what is that? Where does the, like, where from, maybe could you go from like, what's your highest function, or like, what does that look like?
Well, basically it's reading, writing, and arithmetic. Basically,
Okay.
and sometimes when I look at people, I can't look them in the eye.
The camera's over there.
You can't even look the camera in the eye.
When I look at people in the eye, when I look at people, I can't look them in the eye. Like,
Okay.
For instance, someone made a comment on my Facebook like, "If you're gonna get our attention, you want to look into the camera," and I'm like, "Well, lady, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything." And also, I'm high functioning autistic, so that's one of my issues. So,
Right.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Tell her you're blind. That'll really piss her off. She'll be like, oh shit.
That would be good.
Actually, I'm blind, but thanks for noticing.
Yeah, no, I mean, he mostly got crap on the internet for not being not pandering as like, I'm autistic, take care of me this way. He was just being himself and just putting himself out there doing vlogs and all sorts of interviews with people back in the day. It was almost like people were mad at him for not being what they thought he would be, like they
Not being the
wanted him-
poster boy they wanted, the poster boy they got.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, this guy's a savage. So he's like,
I love it.
Yeah, so it really throws people for a loop. It's
Okay,
I always
okay.
joke with him that it's like he's not black, but he can use a word with a hard R, and he does to his advantage.
Wow.
Do you know what
I love that for you. I love you got a perpetual pass.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm high functioning autistic with Tourette's.
He could probably throw anything on there.
Shit.
No. Actually, when I met him, he really didn't, he would always try to catch himself swearing all the time because he always wanted to be, a good boy for the internet.
Right.
And I was like, you don't have to do that, man. Be the Tommy that everyone likes. Be the Tommy that's wild.
Yeah, don't make it hard for yourself. Make it easy.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, Tommy.
He loves it. What else you got for him?
Okay. What are your plans for the future?
It's a good question. I think I'd like to. I feel like I have a few hundred more books in me,
Yeah.
but I'm also working on a larger book called Dad Advice or Brad Advice.
Wow.
That's like a compilation of all my dad advice letters.
Nice.
And kind of newly written responses that are a bit more not safe for social media. So that'll be like a proper paperback, but that might take a little bit longer to put together. I'm working on that, but it's a slow process. I'm kind of doing some. I'm doing videos that are responses, but I don't want to do the same content that's in the videos. I want it to be completely separate. So, I'm soliciting, if anybody's watching, I'm soliciting advice questions. If you go to bradgosse.com, contact, just put hey, dad advice question.
All right. Yeah.
I love dad advice questions because I feel like I have a lot to share.
All right, well, I'll throw this up real quick. We can see if we can make this potentially work. Sometimes we have people call into the show. Maybe we can have
I like that.
somebody call in and give us a question. How do you feel about that?
I'd love that.
Okay, sweet. We'll see if we can make that happen. I got the number up on the screen, so if anybody wants to call in. Well, something I kind of didn't really fully notice because you're so good at kind of controlling the camera, if you will, when you're doing your bits, that all the attention's on you. But now I'm looking at what you got going on in your background. You got some crazy awesome comic book memorabilia back there, huh?
That's right. Yeah. It's it helps me attract minors.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, all right. Well, what's your favorite? What's your favorite comic book hero or villain, or which way do you usually go with that?
I like Venom, Batman, Spider-Man, Superman,
Nice.
mainly. Yeah, traditional OG kind of superheroes.
Heck yeah.
Um,
I think Tommy's got a Wolverine back there somewhere. Were you into the X-Men ever?
a little bit. Less my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them darker. I like them sometimes a little bit darker.
Yeah,
DC's a bit darker.
I'm more of a DC fan than a Marvel fan, but I do like Deadpool because he definitely has that round circle as an anti-hero. Honestly.
Yeah, I like Joker too.
Oh, Joker is. I think he is an exclamation point on society, and I think that he is one of the most interesting characters.
I'll give you that.
Tommy's a huge Joker guy.
Oh yeah, big time.
See if you want to hit him with some trivia.
Where does the Joker originally hail from? Where was his character developed from?
Like his where he was born?
No. Where was his character inspired from? Where the writer that wrote Batman? Where did he get that idea for that character?
Oh, I have no idea.
It was from an old 50s movie called The Man That Smiles.
Oh.
It was an old black and white 50s cartoon, old black and white 50s movie about a man that just constantly smiled but never spoke.
Oh.
And Bob Iger, the creator of Batman, saw that movie and he just created a character from that character that would always smile and was laughing all the time.
That's obscure. That's obscure. I thought you were asking me where he was born.
You want to ask him that?
Where was the Joker born?
Wasn't it Arkham Asylum? Was it?
I don't
I
think
thought
so.
I thought he was the product of some criminally insane.
I think you're
people.
thinking of Freddy Krueger.
No, that's a different similar story, but I think he was born from Arkham Asylum from what I have read. Maybe it depends on the storyline.
Well, he would have been born Jack Napier. I know that the character, as we know, wrapped around as a Joker, as we've come to know, is Jack Napier. So,
right. A gangster.
Yeah, he was a gangster. So, born out of Arkham Asylum. So, kind of like the net gesture of society,
That's cool. Yeah, I think that's really cool that we found that connection because that's huge. Tommy's like a huge Joker guy. And I think, maybe that's like the big connection that kind of is like the glue that makes, attracts us to your content as well. You've even hit on that a few times. You like the darker side of things. And I think
I do like it dark, like my relationship with my father.
Yeah? It was tough or what?
I don't know. Just saying that. It's just a thing you say.
Yeah, no,
it's dark like I like my dildos.
Oh my goodness.
What do you like specifically about Venom?
You know what? I think it's purely an attachment to my childhood. I read the Secret Wars series when the alien first invaded Spider-Man's body, and I thought it was a cool concept at the time. So my fascination is more sort of time based, like it takes me back to a time. So yeah, it's more nostalgia than like I think he's cool. Although I do think it's a cool concept and we have a life-size bust in the corner there, so I must like him.
Damn.
But yeah.
We are Venom.
Well, that's awesome, man. So when you're going on and you're meeting with all these different people, reading the books, what are you using to do that? Is that Omegle What is that?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
uses Omegle, but the next question I was going to ask you is like, does that kind of hurt your content now that Omegle is gone now?
No, there's other websites. There's OME TV. There's one called Monkey App, but I don't really use that one. So there are other places. And my plan is, if those do kind of dry up, I have some other ideas. I've done some fake focus groups before on Zoom where I brought in parents and I made them think they were actually looking at children's books. And it's on my YouTube channel, but you can kind of see their faces. They're like, "Am I being messed with here, or what's going on?" But I paid them. I paid parents. And I'm like, "Hey, we just need 20 minutes of your time. We'll give you $50." And they're like, "Oh, okay, great." Find them on Craigslist or whatever. And I comb my hair forward and I put on glasses and I got on Zoom with them. And I'm like, "Okay, we work for these publishers and we run some stuff by parents, and you're just going to rate these things out of 10." And they'd be like, "What kind of subject matter is this?" And I'd be like, "Well, it's 2022." And they're like, "Yeah, I guess," just like, that was my answer for everything. "Well, it's 2022." And they'd be like, "Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess."
That's brilliant.
Who knows?
Brad,
there's always, go ahead.
Brad, you kind of inspired me to do like some dark storylines, from watching your content and kind of like bouncing off yours. I've kind of created some dark stuff. Justin doesn't like the dark stuff too much.
No.
What do you got? What do you got?
It's not. He's okay. Go ahead. Give him a taste.
Okay, it's called Dark Side of Disney, and it's the reality that the Goofy movie, that PJ and Max were actually school shooters and they shot up their school in the movie A Goofy Movie.
Okay.
So
I love it. Anything with school shooter in it, it's going to be a hit.
Yeah.
Right? It's always a win. You bring in school shooters, throw in some crisis actors, man, you're in business.
Do you dabble much in what some like to call conspiracy theories?
I love a good conspiracy theory, yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
I don't know if it's a theory, conspiracy theory, as much as it's just a theory, but I like the idea that we live in a simulation.
It's a super interesting one.
I've always thought of that myself. Like, what if we just are a DVD? It says, Tommy or Brad Gosse. Like, when we die, that whatever is watching us just takes that disc out and puts it back, and then just slides it.
There's a lot of people that don't think we have free will, right? So if we don't have free will, we could easily be, actors in a play. We think we don't know what the next line is; it's just coming to us. But I don't know. I kind of like that one, and I feel like, and I don't. When I say this, it's not like, oh, I believe this.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that maybe we didn't actually land on the moon; that we did it just to fuck with the Russians, because it's a better story. It's like we faked it. We faked you bitches, and you just fell over and took it. And that's like we bluffed a country. Yeah. And that's a better story than we went to the moon. We spent every dime we had. We went to the moon to prove a point. Yeah. And then we came back and we never did it again because that's just too much money.
Yeah. I always
like, how is it dead? Like, what did we do in the 1960s that we can't do for like a penny on the dollar today?
Exactly.
That we can't go to the moon?
It seems like we should be able to do that like as like a vacation destination at this point. Based on the way everything else is, like you said, like technology has brought everything to such a level that it's very strange that
we should be mining the moon for fossil fuels.
That's hilarious. Which would mean that would further the theory and mean that there was life there at one point that would die to turn into the fossil fuels. So that takes the theory to a whole nother level.
Yeah, like because we're always trying to go to Mars to see if there's water there. Because it's like, why go to Mars when that's one of the most worst environments in the world? There's storms every single day. But that's where Mr. X wants to go to, is Mars. He's so in love. He's got a boner for Mars.
He really does.
You want shitty water? Go to Flint.
Yeah,
You know,
dude,
it's-
hey, I'm from Michigan. I know.
Hey, just go to Uranus. It's just a gigantic gas planet, ice gas planet, you know? Or your Venus. Like, you know.
Why'd you do it like that? Are they really trying to do that?
They did that. They changed the name because they got tired of everyone saying Uranus.
No, they didn't. Did they really?
Yeah, they changed it to your Venus.
Do you know anything about this, Brad?
Never heard of it.
I think he's pulling our leg.
No, it's the truth. Like they changed the
You're gonna
planet
make me
to
fact
your
check
Venus.
us? Oh my god. Either way, I still think that we should be able to get to the moon by now if we really did it. I do agree with that one. That one's fun. My favorite.
What about you? What's yours?
My favorite is that I don't really think that. I think that the Titanic sinking was just a assassination attempt, or like a successful assassination with a lot of collateral damage. And Tommy hates it so much because he loves the Titanic.
Who were
I
they
don't
killing?
Like it. I respect the story and the spirit of what happened that night, and how man put his foot in his mouth to God, and the architectural of trying to push something that big across the ocean to try to put that niche in time, but they put that niche in time the way that they did, and what happened, you know.
Tell him about the captain.
Oh yeah, Smith had already had a few accidents before, like he even set sail on the Titanic.
Like, you're gonna hire a dude who's like good at running into glaciers, and you think he's not gonna run into another glacier?
Oh, it technically ran into another ship also.
Back then, you couldn't just Google a guy to find out, has he crashed before? Is he drink on the job? What do we know about this guy? And they're like, he was in the military. All right, give him a shot,
And he's probably
He's got PTSD, but don't worry about it. He'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you'd have to guess too that everyone was drinking on the job. If I know anything about the past, people used to get into their whiskey a little early.
I have a conspiracy.
Yeah, why not? Okay, go.
My conspiracy is, Brad, you ever seen Missing 411?
No.
If you haven't, you should check it out on, I think it's still on Hulu or YouTube. But it's about people that go missing every single day in state parks. And my conspiracy behind this whole entire thing is why people are going missing in state parks is
Cave people.
They're walking through portals into other dimensions, and that's why they're missing, and they can't find flesh or bone.
Yeah, you guys.
There's also a lot of caves in the state parks.
Yeah, I think the caves make sense. Could there maybe be cave portals in the caves?
Possibly, but some people are just walking down trails, and they just keep walking, and then they go on and walk, and they can't find those people further down the trail.
What if there's people that live down in the caves, like different people to us, and their skin hasn't seen the light of day, and they take our people when they go too far into the cave get taken by the cave people.
That's a skinwalker.
What was the movie that was based here? With the people in caves.
Slender Man?
No. But,
Blair Witch?
I'll remember it, but yeah, we're in Western North Carolina, so it's like a myth about people that live real deep in the caves, and they'll come out and take you.
Hill people,
yeah.
Yeah. So was I right about your Venus?
No.
What?
You heard that? I never heard that. I think somebody just got you good.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
I thought he was getting us good.
He gets me like that a lot. Oh, the movie was called The Descent.
Oh.
Yeah. But
what do you guys do when you're not making this show?
Well, I have a part-time job, and Justin does other things also.
I love the sound of other things also. Can we go into that a little bit? What's that look like?
I do like video production, photography, and I also do a little bit of real estate work.
How did I know real estate was coming?
Yeah, because it's everywhere.
Real estate is like, it's kind of the fallback. It's like stand-up comedy. You have the two fallback careers.
Yeah, no, totally. same time.
Yeah, I think worst comes to worst, I'll become insert comedy or comedian or realtor. Those are the you've done the two worst come to worst jobs.
It is honestly, I'll tell you this: being a real estate agent is essentially being a waiter.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It
sounds about
so
right.
similar, and it's also one of the most depressing jobs because, well, probably not for some people. If you, I don't give a shit. I smoke weed. I'm a chill guy, and sometimes it's really like a guy's like, man, some people be like, man, you gotta sell, and I'll just be like, I don't really want to try to talk anybody into anything here right now, my man. I'm pretty good just letting them make their decisions. So I can't say I'm the most successful salesperson in the world.
Is it because of close rate or because of the number of leads coming in the door?
It's probably that there's a lot of people who want a house but shouldn't be buying a house because I can look at their finances and know that they're going to be digging themselves into a deep hole, and I'll tell them.
Why are you looking at their finances? You're not a mortgage broker or banker. Why are you looking at their finances?
You want me to get that money, don't you? Thank you, man.
Well, I'm just curious. I mean, what kind of realtor you are. I'm just getting a feel for it here. Are you just like keeping the leads warm, or what are you doing? Like,
Brad, all you gotta know about this guy is he's the best damn real estate agent in Western North Carolina, and he could sell you a ketchup popsicle while you were wearing white gloves.
Okay.
No, but to be, thank you, Tommy.
I dig the confidence.
Yeah, but to be more specific, basically, I do well on the listing side, finding people who want to sell their house because I know they want to sell their house and I know how to sell their house. So that part of it, I'm good with. The part that I struggle with is working with buyers who don't realize what it takes to actually be able to get into something and be comfortable.
Now, just looking at Brad here, what kind of house do you think he would fit well here in Western North Carolina?
I love that question. I think we should get him in something that's kind of like not too crazy, but a little modern. To go with like all of his, he's got like that sleek kind of comic book style, and I like how he does the lights. And he's like, his aesthetic is always so good with his video. Yeah. So he must appreciate good aesthetics. So something not like nothing crazy like.
I like fancy shit.
There you go. Yeah. So like maybe like some nice staircases, a lot of open rooms, big windows. With a basement with at least one room that looks like a cave. Like it's built into the rock or something. Yeah. You walk in and you're just like in a cave. Maybe it even has a spring that feeds to it. And there's this little thing where he can perform the human sacrifices that he does.
Yep. Stripper pole.
Bro, the last the last bar that we did our show at had a stripper pole, and
I love that.
It paid off a few times for us because some of the stuff that we do is we let any of the patrons that are there watching, they can if they bought a drink, they can play a game. It's either like popping balloons with darts or like cornhole style, or like tossing bags into buckets, things like that, something like that. And then if they land inside one of the buckets or they hit one of the balloons, there's a little piece of paper and it says, you get a free drink, but first, and it's always something, one of them was, but first you have to dance for 30 seconds. And this girl one time pulls it out, and she's like, I don't know, what song? We're like, what song do you want to dance to? She's like, I don't know. I just throw on Cherry Pie. She just jumps on the pole and starts going, and we were like, hell yeah, buddy.
Damn.
Nice. Good times. Good times.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Let's get back to your sales performance, Justin.
All right.
Why are you asking about finances?
So I ask people about finances because they're going to talk to a mortgage person, but they're always afraid to for some reason. Like they think that once they talk to a mortgage person, their credit score is going to drop by like 50 points. And I tell them it's not going to happen, but they don't really believe me. So they just ask like, well, what do you think I can afford? And the only way I can do that is if I ask them, well, how much are you making? How much are you spending? What do you spend right now on your house? And how much more could you potentially spend on your house, or do you even want to? and then that way it lets me actually know what they can look at, because the area we're in is super inflated with homes, because we're in like a vacation town. So
Tourist.
yeah, so
Trap.
there's like a million
Right.
short-term rentals. So yeah,
Right.
that's why I look at it, just to kind of get to know who they are.
And then you're like, what the fuck are you doing here? Just go away.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
We
You need to
live in
rent.
Black Mountain, the front porch of Western North Carolina, the little town that rocks.
Yeah. You should just be like, I'm gonna sell you this car to live in.
Maybe
Because
if we were going to like Austin or maybe San Francisco or something.
it's interesting. So what would somebody who sells more than you do differently than you when it comes to dealing with people's finances? Are they like, yeah, you can afford this, and they push them to a broker and they fucking make it happen, or what?
Sometimes, yes.
They're fudging numbers and
Well, not necessarily fudging numbers. We wouldn't be able to do anything like that on this end, but maybe.
but you encourage it's up to the client to disclose the numbers. You encourage the fudging of the numbers.
Yeah. Well,
I understand.
I don't.
Not you. I understand.
But yeah, some people do.
Hypothetical high performing realtors are fudging are encouraging the number fudging somewhere in America.
Yeah, and another thing is like just kind of being like super ruthless on the sales side, where you take somebody who, like we were saying, maybe they even know they're not really ready, because they're like, look, I spend $1,500 a month on rent. I really don't want to spend $18,000 to $2,000 on a mortgage, but they meet a real estate agent. The real estate agent keeps taking them out, keeps showing them places, starts showing them places like a little above their budget, and then they're like, well, this is what you want. This is what you want. And it's like, people aren't that hard to manipulate if you want to be a sick fuck. Like,
Right.
and,
Right.
And once they sign that piece of paper, especially in North Carolina, you have to put down money at the beginning for a property that you have zero chance at ever getting back.
Yeah, of
that's
course.
Pretty rare. I don't know.
Right.
Do they do that in Canada?
Well, what are you talking about? Like closing costs or the down payment or deposit or
Like
what are
a
you talking about?
a deposit that there's no chance of getting it back. Period. Like, even if you're like,
When you make the offer, yeah, of course, yeah.
oh, you guys do that in Canada?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh wow. There's only like
Don't waste my fucking time. Put some money down if you're going to put an offer together. That's the way it should be.
yeah, totally, man.
Yeah.
What
You
part
should have some skin in the game, or why are we? What are we doing here? We're just going to have a little circle jerk, and you're gonna throw a number at me. I'm going to say yes, and then you're going to be like, I'm going to think about it. No, I'm going to keep some money.
Yeah.
Well, don't fuck with me.
Well, yeah, because it's your time, and like honestly, once you come off the market, man, when you go back on, people are gonna be like, "What's wrong with the house?" So you're gonna take a hit anywhere. You're gonna take a hit.
Yeah.
So you might as well have had it made up by the guy before who wasted your time. I totally agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, I work a lot on the sell side, and I tell people to ask for it, so I can't say
Yeah.
I'm not. But I don't know, man. I mean, I guess the thing that mostly made me get into real estate, though, was that I was doing videos and photos for all these real estate agents, and they'd be like, man, I wouldn't have sold this house if you didn't have this video. It made it sell so easy, blah, blah. And then I started asking, well, how much are you guys making off this? And I found out that the amount that I was getting for being the reason it sold, I was like, well, shit. Like, I'm not going to let you have all the fun.
Yeah, but you're not taking phone calls at 8:00 at night. You know what I mean, and dealing with people and their late night offers, and you got till midnight. And now we're back and forth, and nobody sees that. The videographer doesn't see that part, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I got to do this and this."
Yeah, that's where I am now. So Tommy, so like you said, what do I do when I'm not doing this? I do that.
Yeah. So it's all part. Yeah. As soon as you said photography, videography, I was like, he's a realtor. That's what happened. You guys always lead with the creative stuff, and then you're like, I use it to sell houses.
That's awesome. Well,
right.
And part of the reason I say that too is
you're not making short films for the Cannes Film Festival. You know what I'm saying?
We actually are.
Or are you? Are you?
Yeah, we actually. Well, I mean, I don't know if we'll get into Cannes, but like that's something that brought Tommy and I together. Actually, it was a dude,
okay.
It was a dude in our town, who we're both friends with, and he knew I was working on some short films. The one I was working on at the time was there's a place in our town, Asheville Pizza and Brewing, and they have a movie theater in the brewery, and they put on their own film festival. It was it was kind of like a proof, like you were just supposed to make a trailer for a movie that didn't really exist. So I was working on that, and Craig, our buddy, was like, "Oh, you need to meet Tommy. He's all into movies. He's into doing all this stuff." So then I ran into Tommy. I looked him up on the internet, and I'm like, "Okay, I know what he looks like." And then one day I'm at the YMCA, and I'm in the sauna, and all of a sudden I look out the door, and I see him. I'm like, "Oh, there's the dude." So I get out of the sauna, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" And this guy's like so upset with me that I'm talking to him half naked. Like, he's just like frustrated. And I grew up playing hockey, so I didn't care. You know what I mean? Like, I'm used to being naked, and it doesn't bother me at all. But this guy's just like, "Yeah, hey, man." And I'm like, "Hey, you want, like, Craig told me to talk to you. We should get in and doing some movies and stuff." And he's just doing his best to get the fuck away from me. He's like, "Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Yeah, just hit me up on Facebook. That's fine."
I love the fact that you guys met in a YMCA sauna. That's you buried the lead on this story.
Well, then we opened our friendship up in 2021, and that was
We opened our relationship up, and now we're a polyamorous sauna couple.
Yes.
It was after my father had passed away, so I kind of was in a slump. But
How did your dad die? How did he die?
Slump.
Sorry.
How did he die?
My brain's twisted by the hilarious polyamorous relationship comment followed by you dropping like a fucking drama bomb. Oh, shit.
How did your dad die?
Advanced leukemia.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's he's in a better place, and Justin is kind of the one that kind of brought me out of my stoop, because he kind of brought me back to the world of like YouTube and filmmaking. And
I was at rock bottom at the YMCA sauna hallway.
Exactly.
And Justin came out covered in sweat driplets.
I probably was fucking soaked, man. No.
Like, "Hey, man."
That was exactly
I love that.
it. And he was thrown off. But yeah, man, we work on we do a lot of writing.
Okay.
And we do a lot of our writing kind of like through improv.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Yeah.
We'll just sit and like work out scenes. So we get a lot of weird looks from his neighbors, and when we're like walking out of the apartment, and we've just been like yelling at each other, playing characters for right, and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, it's the fucking sauna boys are fighting again.
Dude, that's what we should have named the show, Sauna Boys.
Sauna Boys?
Sauna boys.
We're also working on a sitcom too. It's more of a funny but more serious and kind of twisty sitcom.
What's the premise?
We have to wait for a certain other show to die because everybody always points to it, but you can tell them.
Seinfeld?
What?
What? I can't
No,
remember.
tell them the premise of the show.
Oh, the show is about a guy that is, he's well-to-do, and what happens is he ends up getting set up, and
on drug charges,
and he ends up losing everything, and he kind of spirals out of control, and almost tries to like off himself. But he ends up meeting this dude that helps him out and tries to help him get back on top. And he's a spoiled brat, and he runs his own company, but he's having everything taken from him, and he's being screwed over, and he's trying to get it back on top, basically. Am I right?
That's a pretty good way of putting it. Yeah.
Okay. And so what's the show that people point to that it's like?
They always see Schitt's Creek.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I live 45 minutes from the motel, the Schitt's Creek the actual motel where they shot that show.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like an abandoned motel now, but it was the Schitt's Creek motel. It's like 45 minutes from where I live.
That's really cool, man.
I made a couple videos there just because.
Are they on the YouTube channel?
They're buried. They're a few years old, but yeah, they'd be TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah, what we were trying to push for was have it like so like the guy gets busted with a bunch of drugs on his private plane. So a lot of it is like these people investigating him. Like a whole like storyline is these two partners investigating him. So
These cold case cops that just can't let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
And then his father is like a total scumbag, and he still has all his money. And there's like several times that his father has him kidnapped and beat up throughout it. There's like some really dark stuff.
Why don't you animate it?
I mean, we haven't really even thought that far into it. I guess it could be a good animation.
I want. Can I say who I want for the father? Or...
Yeah, dude, it's so funny to me.
I want John Stamos to play the father
in a fat suit.
I want to get like the most sexiest man be hated. Like I want him to people to like be interested in him and also hate his guts at the same time.
Like he's got all these pictures. Like he's got a picture above his mantle. That's him when he was like hot, but he's not.
Why don't you make it like a comic book?
Yeah.
You could make that into a cheap comic book, like panel style, with kind of like, you always think of comic books as like each panel is a scene, and in between we can kind of fill in the blanks about what happened between the scenes.
Yeah.
You could do a comic book for probably, a couple $1,000 maximum in art fees, right? Then you have the pre-script treatment. It's like here's a tangible thing that we made, right? And you can like send that to a producer or whoever and say, we want to have an adaptation of this made into a sitcom. We want to, like find the cheapest way to make it, and then make it piss poor. You know what I mean? And let people be like, oh, that's a cool story. It's your story now. You've published it. Nobody can fuck with it. And like now that if somebody wants it, they have to buy it from you. It's like BoJack Horseman, right? It's like you make a comic book. This is my story. This is my character. I now own this. I'm the publisher of this. You can't fuck with this. And then use that to build the script out. Start with a comic book. It's like it's a quarter of a script.
Yeah, I love that. That's brilliant. I appreciate that.
Most definitely.
Let's get back to your sales performance.
What do you got?
I think you either need to quit real estate or go hard in the motherfucking paint. I don't think there's any in between for you. I think you have to make a hard choice, and I feel like you have a brain for comedy, so you should at some point abandon real estate and say, I'm going to do something else because this isn't aligning with my hopes and dreams and values.
All right.
Or become the most ruthless motherfucker on the planet. I will sell your mother's eyes. I don't care what happens. I'm going to make that commission, and I'm going to get that listing. I'm going to make you house poor because that's the American dream. And fuck you and fuck your boomer parents.
Shit.
Yeah,
that's
what I think. They're going to need to move in with you because neither of you can afford this mortgage, even together. So you're going to have to drive Uber Eats, but I don't care because I got my cut. And I'm on to the next loser, and let's keep this train running.
All right,
that's what I'm saying. It's either you're either all in or you're all out. Don't half-ass your job.
Can you shake it
right?
all about?
You got.
Well, you can. You can once you get that money, you can shake that drip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shake that drip.
Yeah. Shake that drip.
I'm a free-spoken rapper myself, so
I like
I'm
that.
always dropping it.
Funktaculous.
Oh yes.
Oh shit, man. Tommy, you had a couple other questions for him that you wanted to ask. But I'll tell you this, Brad. I'll go hard for you.
I think you should go hard.
I'll go hard for you.
That's
and then I'll also quit. I'll go hard. I'll make a bunch of money, and then I'll quit.
And then make your comic book and become a famous producer.
Well, shit, man. Why do you keep fucking playing with your...
I'm not playing with anything.
Jesus Christ. He's tell me that I gotta whip my dick out when I'm working. He always tells me that.
I thought he was gonna pull his belt off and start whipping you like Tony Soprano.
He would love to, dude.
Like fuck.
Tony's one of his fucking idols for sure.
Well, he's not my idol. He's an interesting character, and the reality that he's a gangster / businessman, and that he like anything with a set of legs he goes after, even though he has a beautiful wife at home. The reality that he's
Beautiful.
Well, I think she's beautiful.
You think Carmela's beautiful?
I think Carmela's beautiful. I think that she.
Tony, I fixed you a plate, Tony.
Dude, that is a
Could
rough
not live with
accent.
that. I could not. Tony could not live with that.
No, it's a rough accent. I think about that all the time.
I think it's funny about how when Tony's mad, he just. Let me tell you something here. You're gonna do what I need you to tell me. What I'm gonna tell you to do.
I like
Or
that.
when he's
I like
eating, he's just breathing through his nose.
nose breathing.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
half of the show is just
So,
breathing.
yeah,
through the nose.
it's a lot of nose breath. I agree. It's a lot of nose breath. All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for having me on the show.
It was an honor to have you, sir.
Patrick. Why was I going to call you Patrick? Justin, I want you to work those leads, Patrick.
Got it.
I need you to work those. I need you to work the leads a little harder.
I can do that for you.
And
report
Tommy,
back. I'll make sure I work hard for you, man.
And hey,
I
man,
appreciate
you're always
that.
welcome here on the Super Fun Time Show anytime, man. Welcome to call in anytime, and we love having you on here.
Yeah.
I appreciate the
Everybody,
love, Tommy.
Check out all the links below. Go buy his books. What do you think people should buy? What do you want to see sold, man?
Me?
No.
Becky the Throat Goat. That's my
All right, everybody, go out there and
my
get
pick
it.
today. All right. See you guys.
Brad, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks.
Sweet.
Oh my goodness,
That was awesome.
it was like thank you so much, folks, for watching, and this has been super fun time.
Hey, let's show a couple things. Like, let's pull up his some of his videos and stuff.
Sure, yeah, let's do that.
Let's show one for the people real quick, just in case they haven't already checked him out. Go subscribe to him on Instagram. He's on Facebook. Follow him on TikTok. Go to his website, bradgosse.com, and go to Amazon. Search Brad Gosse, author, and you'll find all of his books. Let's pull this up real quick. Here we go. Get it on the screen there. All right, here we go. This is actually a rendition of Becky the Throat Goat.
As we still can't trust the Japs. Cinnamon, a horse forced into the sex trade. Uncle Bob can't wait to show me his knob. That guy jacking it. Help me, step bro. Or Becky the Throat Goat.
Could I get the racist grandma, please?
Oh, this is racist.
Fuck yeah, you can.
My racist grand says we still can trust the jabs. Trust the jabs, my racist grand.
My racist grand says we.
That is so funny. That is hilarious. Brad, thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you, Brad. It was an honor to have you as our first guest here on the Super Fun Time Show, and we're always looking for more guests to bring on here and interview them and ask all sorts of interesting questions and just reach into their reality.
Yeah, definitely. Brad has on here, you can go to his contact page. Not only can he perform for you or write you a book, but he can also do babysitting, bar mitzvahs, daycare, custody battles, miscarriage parties.
Oh, God.
He'll do your funerals, your weddings, land acknowledgements. He does school supply teaching and minor surgery. So if you're looking for some of that, he's also got merch for sale. A bunch of awesome shirts. That's hilarious. A lot of them go together with his books. Yeah, man, check him out because he's the man. He gave us good advice too. I thought it was hilarious that he was getting on me about real estate.
Oh, jeez.
To be honest, like, yeah, real estate agents don't have a great name, so
Jeez.
I would roast me. He was nice about it.
I said at one point, I said it's easy for a real estate agent probably to sleep with someone's wife because they go to house, and you wouldn't know if they did it or not with the wife.
Yeah.
Because you go to any house and you can get away with that, and no one would ever know.
You're saying I should also be a gigolo?
No, don't be a gigolo. I'm just saying other real estate agents.
Oh, okay.
I mean, my father was a real estate agent, but he was a good real estate agent, just like Justin is. He and the weird thing is that day you met me, my father was actually there at the gym with me. You know that?
I know. I remember that.
And my dad actually said, Tommy, you should actually think about talking to that guy. I said, I think, yeah, Dad, I'll talk with him in the future about something.
Nice.
So, he did. He acknowledged you and knew who you were at the time. He knew of you at that point when we were in the rest. It's just I'm big on the non-naked thing. Like I don't roll with that. When I go into a gym locker room, and when I take off my skivvies and stuff like that, towel goes on. Like that's my rule. It's like I have to have a towel on if I'm gonna get naked.
I mean, I put a towel on eventually. Well, I want to kind of like go back and, reflect on that. I think it's really cool. I think that when we're talking about someone like Brad, I think that what he's doing is pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's making the content that he wants.
Yes.
He doesn't care what anyone else is saying about it. He's doing his thing, and he's being rewarded for it.
Almost definitely.
And I think that that's a great lesson for people to learn,
Just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And just go hard.
Yeah.
Because you only have one life to live.
Yeah. I'm going to take, I'm going to take it to heart. And I think we should also take it to heart that we should really, I liked his idea about the comic book. We already know some people that do comic books.
Almost definitely,
and
yeah.
It's basically just a storyboard.
Yes.
Yeah. We did have a little bit of engagement. A couple people saying, what's up? Froggy Style. For some reason, Froggy Style doesn't like Brad, which is crazy to me. But whatever, man.
Yeah. I don't get people sometimes why they have to hate, why they have to just...
Oh, man, you gotta love the haters, man. I love when we have haters. Because the thing is like this. Nobody...
is famous without haters.
Yeah, and like, if they're taking the time to hate, thanks for your time, buddy. We're the ones getting paid for them hating, so hate me all the fuck you want.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did you get out of the whole thing?
Just an amazing time, and just like getting to talk to him and just ask him certain questions, and just getting to find out certain things about the guy, and he's definitely out there kind of guy. You know?
I liked it. I thought he was super interesting.
Most definitely, he was. You know what I'm saying? Out there. And I think that his books are really awesome and amazing and quite funny at that. I forgot to ask him to read a book. Shoot.
I know, I thought about that when we got to the end, but at the same time, that's his content. Go to his channel. We have his YouTube link. We have all of his other links. Go check out his content. You can hear him read the books. Or just go on to OMETV or what do you call it? The monkeys.com or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I have the monkey internet. I have to look those up. But go on, check him out, and maybe you'll get lucky enough to run into him and he'll read to you. But honestly, I know I'm gonna get at least one of those books, if not maybe a couple for gifts for people.
Oh man,
for the holidays. I think it's a really solid, like, white elephant gifts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How funny would that be to open up? You open up and it just says What was it?
my
My cunt smells like fish. Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Well, tell me what you want to do, man.
I think we should wrap it up here, and I think we did such an amazing job here on the show. And we just want to say thank you so much for always watching here on the show.
You gotta tell everyone to like and subscribe.
Always remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yes, because it's always a good time here on the Tommy NC 2010 channel and the Super Fun Time show. And hopefully at some point, Tyler might return back. We might have Tyler return back here. And
yeah, we have people looking for him. He's on milk cartons.
Yeah,
we're not really sure where he's at.
We put an APB out for him, and no one knows where he is.
Hopefully he turns up soon. If anyone's seen anything, send us a message, leave us a comment. We appreciate everybody watching. We appreciate everyone who called in on our last show. We're not doing any call-ins today.
Yeah.
Today was more just about getting that interview in. But I do think that you should give a quick inspirational speech before we're done. Do you think that that's a good idea?
Sure.
Well, here's my question. What do you think people are getting down about?
I think that people are getting down just to be out there, and I say that don't be afraid to socialize.
It's super fun time. It's super fun time. It's super fun time. It's super fun time. It's super fun time.